Keep the lights out. Lights Out is directed by David S. Sandberg. This is his directorial debut, and it's based off of a short film that he made a few years back that won a couple little contests or whatever. And it's a pretty simple concept of when you turn the lights out, there's a figure over there that's super scary, so you turn the lights back on and it's gone. You do that a few different times and then all of a sudden the thing's in your face and then you have a movie. This was a short film that is literally just a couple minutes long. You should check it out, honestly. It is super creepy and it's a really good idea for a movie. And the movie stars Teresa Palmer along with a few other people. It's a pretty small cast actually in a pretty small movie, and it expands on that idea, this brilliant idea of the lights turning on and off and something's there and something's not. And I was actually really looking forward to this movie because I really liked that short film. I saw it, a few years back, and I always thought, I was like, oh man, that'd be such a good idea for a whole movie. And I feel like the idea is way better as a short film than it is as a movie because I don't think they really pulled it off here. I feel like they had this great idea and they didn't really know what to do with it, and they ended up making this convoluted story with too many moving parts and stupid concepts that just didn't lend to a good story and a good, nothing was scary in this movie. There's this creepy thing that is like in the dark, and you could have focused on that. And they even went, they told this whole story. This is something that I hate. I'm sorry, I'm all over in this review. But I hate when they do this in a movie where they tell a story that the story that they tell is so much more interesting than the story that they're telling in the movie. And they do that in this movie. They tell the story of this girl being in this a insane asylum, and then there's this whole thing that's following her. And I was like, oh my god, they should have told that story instead of this stupid story that they're telling now, because this is such a dumb story. That one seems so interesting. It could have been so scary and so much more simpler. And instead they went with this overcomplicated thing that I just didn't feel worked. The characters said some ridiculous dialogue. There was some really bad dialogue in this thing. And for me, I feel like this is mostly the director's fault because he had this great idea, and I feel like he had a little bit of pressure put on him to make this whole story, and he might have he tried to expand it a little bit too much instead of trying to keep it more simple. And I feel like he just wasn't able to focus on the things that he should have been focused on in this movie, which was being a good director and getting good performances out of his actors. And the script, I felt, wasn't very good for this movie. He co-wrote it with some other guy, but I feel like he should have been more focused on getting good performances out of them, keeping them real, so that the scares could have been more real. And I feel like every scare was so forced in this thing. There was a big loud noise and it was a big jump scare every time that there was a scare. I feel like the director has some good style, and I look forward to seeing what he does next, because I think that he can do better with a concept that's bigger than this, because I just don't think that this was enough of a concept to expand upon, at least not with this director. I still think it's a great idea, and but I don't think he was able to really expand the way that he should have. And I just feel like the movie just wasn't all that scary. They had a lot of creepy moments, but like I said, everything was, jump scare in your face. It should have been a lot more natural, and this had such a good potential, and I ended up really disappointed with this movie. It was over the top, it was ridiculous, it was really stupid. Some of the things just didn't make sense. Some of the dialogue was ridiculous. I didn't think he did a great job directing. I like some of the style, and I feel like there could have been a really good movie out of the idea, but overall, I think the short film is so much better than this movie. I'm going to go 1 out of 5 for Lights Out. Big disappointment. Who would have thought that I liked Ice Age 5 better than this movie? I didn't see that coming. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.